Thank you so much for joining us. In honor of Women's History Month and International Women's Day, Acker is thrilled to present our Women in Wine series available to stream on our Instagram and YouTube channels, so please subscribe to experience all of our incredible content. We have an exciting roster lined up of some wonderful women who are invigorating the wine industry. My name is Lily Mirabel Friedman, and I'm honored to be joined today by the Assistant Cellarmaster, Samantha Adams, and Nina Muller, the Assistant Winemaker from Gabriëlskloof Winery in South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us, Samantha and Nina. Where are you joining us from?
We're currently sitting in my office in the beautiful Botterville region of Gabriëlskloof.
So I know we've caught you in the middle of harvest. How is harvest going there?
It's going good, so fine, busy, working late, so it's good.
What kind of hours do you harvest in South Africa? How early in the morning do you start?
At 6. At 6 for the people picking in the vineyards. They are picking grapes in the vineyard, so they started at 6. We in the cellar started at 7, and we finish about 8, 9 at night.
People don't realize how long a day working in the vineyards are to actually make the wine that we all love. So we definitely appreciate the effort. So since I'm so thrilled to be joined by two people, we're going to kind of go back and forth with the questions, but we'll start with both of you and ask, not everyone dreams of becoming a winemaker. What did you dream of becoming when you grew up? What was your dream job as a kid?
My dream job was of being a warden. I don't know why, because I was just feeling like I want to go in that a warden. Yes, to work with people in the jail.
Wow. And Nina, what about you?
I've always wanted to be a detective, but I mean, that's still one of the things. I'm still growing up, what can one say?
That's fair. So how did you both decide initially to go into the wine business?
For me, it was by chance. By chance, I was working in the building site. I was starting here in 2007. They started building Gabriëlskloof, so I started joining Gabriëlskloof in 2007. So the winemaker Gabriël, he picked me, like, come and work in the cellar. So I got the chance to work in the cellar. That's why I'm here now.
And you really worked your way up, but that's pretty incredible progress to say, one day I'm just picking grapes, and one day I'm just like happened upon wine, and now you're the assistant cellar master. So quite something. Yes. And Nina, what about you? How did you decide to go into this crazy business?
I think I stepped into a cellar and I liked the smell, and I just decided, yep, let's do it. I mean, we're better for having Samantha in this team all the time, so I'm so happy she fell into this profession. So
Samantha, I know you've done harvests not only in South Africa but also in Burgundy. Did you ever taste one wine that made you so excited to work in wine, one of those kind of life-changing wines?
Is it in Burgundy or you're in South Africa?
And anywhere, any wine you've ever had that changed
South Africa, in our cellar is the blend. I love the blend because there's many compounds you use inside the blend. So it's good to make up the blend, put that together and make it one. Yes.
What grapes go into the Gabriëlskloof blend?
Nina, can you say that now for me?
So it changes from year to year. It's Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Malbec, and Petit Verdot. But it depends on how the year looks. So sometimes we'll take out some of the Merlot, sometimes we'll add a bit more Cab Franc, sometimes a bit more Cab Sauv. So it depends on year to year.
So Nina, I'll ask you this. What have been your greatest challenges in becoming a winemaker in South Africa?
It's a tough industry to be in, not just as being a woman, but especially in South Africa still. Winemaking isn't too tough, but it's very competitive. You need to know the right people. You also need to work yourself up. You need to build a reputation so that it's word of mouth. That's how I got the job at Gabriëlskloof. It was word of mouth, and people knew each other, and because it's a very tight-knit community, so you need to be able to. People need to be able to trust you. So it's a slow process. I mean, this is my 10th year in the wine industry, and I'm finally, feeling like comfortable. So yeah, it's a very small industry that can lots of ears, and if you do something wrong, it's always a, but it's a very cool industry to be in. So very lucky to be in it.
Do you feel like the wine community in South Africa is kind of quite, you said that it's quite small, but there's certainly wine regions throughout the country. Is there a lot of connection between the different regions, or everyone kind of has a more micro communities in the wine world there?
I mean, yes, there's definitely everyone speaks to each other. There are obviously communities that are a bit more close knit. I mean, we're a very small region. We're Botriba, so we know everyone. But we also know the Enamored. We also at Stellenbosch we're a little bit further away from. But strange enough, we're more we have a bigger relationship with the Swartland region rather than Stellenbosch. It's also because we get our grapes from there. So yeah, I mean, everyone talks to everyone. So I know people in Stellenbosch. I know so many people in Stellenbosch. It's also who you studied with or who you worked with. And then so it's a very open community that everyone kind of knows everyone, almost.
And are you all drinking each other's wines?
Yeah, no. I mean, we have to test our products.
Fair enough. Do each of you have a favorite trait about yourself?
And I know what Samantha is probably the most hardworking person that I know, so she should say that. But yeah, no, I think loyalty. Like yeah, I don't know. That's probably the first thing that comes to mind.
Hardworking is
very depending. When now that harvest is coming to an end, we're all a bit tired now, but we're still trying. And I know Samantha's just going.
Once there's the light at the end of the tunnel and you know it's going to be over soon, it's like, let's put in all of the work so that it can be over sooner, maybe.
Yeah.
So, Samantha, you jumped into this career. You've jumped into winemaking and really taken the bull by the horns. But do you generally consider yourself a risk taker? Do you think coming to the wine world was a risk?
It's not a risk for me. I can take up anything, but it's not a risk for me.
I love that kind of enthusiasm of I can take on anything. No one says that and really means it. And you said it with such conviction, and it's perfect. Nina, do you consider yourself a risk taker?
I mean, I actually had quite an interesting conversation with someone today, and they were like saying it's actually a risk being in the wine industry, just in general. But I mean, I consider myself a risk taker, but not extreme risks, if that makes sense. I mean, like to go out and travel and go and work in random places, but I don't know if that's a risk. I think that's just an adventure. So, but yeah, I think we're both risk takers. Not extreme risk takers, but
So what do you both love about the wine industry? What is it that makes you love it?
For me, it's for every year, the interns coming to South Africa, working in the wine industry. So working with them give you more, how do you say, Nina? Perspective, and they tell us what they do that side, and we tell how we do it here. So it's more about to connect with the interns, maybe from Italy, Germany, all of them are coming here and work with us. So it is
Definitely.
that's a good answer.
Something that's so great about wine is that it brings people together, and for harvest particularly, you always get to meet new people, see new people. It's a whole new thing. So to both of you, what piece of advice would you give the next generation or a younger generation of female leaders in the wine industry?
I think bring each other up, especially as female winemakers. You know, don't try to minimize anyone. I mean, obviously not anyone, but like especially female winemakers or female, cellar masters like Samantha. We need to empower each other. So try and bring out the best of each other, and help each other through this, like the path upwards. So yeah, it's such an important thing to think about, because we're still learning, and the wine industry is still kind of learning It's getting better and better, but you know, you need to also fight for where you want to be. So yeah, just stay strong as well, because sometimes it can be really, really frustrating, but eventually you get where you want to be.
That's a fair point. You mentioned that you're drinking all of your kind of colleagues' wines. Are there any other female winemakers, perhaps even in South Africa, that you'd like to mention, so that not only people hear about one great South African winery, maybe they learn about a second one?
Yeah, we'll say the name. Marlies. Marlies Niemand. So Nina can tell everything about her.
Oh, she's a wonderful woman. She's literally around the corner.
Momento.
Momento Wines. Yeah, super lovely woman, and she makes some seriously good wines. Very good Grenache, and she does Grenache Noir, Grenache Gris, Grenache Blanc. So it's all these so interesting, and she's awesome. And she's always empowering everyone. She's always trying to uplift people, which is so cool.
That's a perfect mention of someone else. I love it. So looking past, I don't really know what it's like right now in South Africa. I have an idea of kind of general kind of COVID conditions around the world. So we know that there's been some pause everywhere, but do you have a vision perhaps of what's in store for the wine world after this past kind of 18 months, the future of the wine world? Any predictions?
It's so difficult to like really envision anything past COVID, because you don't ever know when COVID is going to end, really, if it's actually going to end. But it's, yeah, I think people are going to be a bit more careful and a bit more, yeah, it's so difficult to say, because what do you think? We also don't know what happens. It also, yeah, I mean, it makes you approach things a bit more like appreciative, and you know what we could have done last year, like in January versus now, it's completely different. So
I'll ask you this. What are your, now that you're done with harvest, what comes next for you both at the winery? I take it Samantha has a lot of work because she has to now, you know, make the wine.
No, I mean, Samantha is always busy. She never sits anywhere close to a seat when it comes to the winery. So yeah, no, it's quite busy. It's actually quite like we're slowing down, but we're actually going up again. You know, it's like a fine line. The minute that we stop with the harvest, the minute we start bottling, and like, you know, or labeling, or because everyone's running out of wine, so we have to give them the wine again. So yeah, no, it's just a constant like, but now it's a bit more predictable, right?
Yes.
So now we can plan, whereas in harvest we plan, but everything goes crazy.
What do you both hope comes of your career in the wine world? What do you think is next? What do you have any dreams you'd like to pursue in the wine world coming next?
As in the wine, making my own wine. No, I want to make my own wine. Starting my own wine, maybe next year. Making also a blend. I also want to make a blend. Because I love blend.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And what about you, Nina?
I've already started kind of. I'm going to try and make an MCC. So I started with one of the components this year already. So I'm going to try and make a non-vintage MCC. Hopefully by it might be released in the next 4 years.
The timeline for wine. So, but that's so exciting. Well, thank you both for taking time out of your busy harvest day. Samantha and Nina, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you both and hear a little bit more about the great women behind Gabriëlskloof. I can't thank you enough for sharing your time with us, and thank you so much for celebrating Women's History Month with Acker. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you. Bye.